Welcome to Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact. Each episode will cover legacy, hope, Black joy, funding sources, cultural shifts, equality, and so much more. We will provide inspiration and action while spreading some joy to a thriving community of Black business owners and leading thought leaders.
I am Larvetta Loftin, your host and the founder of the L3 Agency.
Known as the brand maven who transforms organizations with her storytelling prowess, meet Larvetta L. Loftin, host of Black Businesses Matter, a podcast about why Black businesses matter and the benefits of collaborating and advocating for Black businesses to drive impact.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Season 6, guys. Can you all believe that we are now in Season 6? And I want to share with you all, when we built the podcast, we break ours up into kind of like TV episodes. So like 10 to 12 episodes is one season. And we do that because we want to curate different episodes that speak to that particular theme. And so if you've been rocking with us, I always open up one episode. I get to talk a little bit with you all, or just talk. There's no guest, to just share with you all some things that are happening within the podcast, things that are happening within the company, and just rock with me a little bit. And so I want you all to know that Season 6 is all about B2B businesses. And B2B businesses are businesses that literally supply a service for other businesses. And because we've had B2C business, and some people do both. So that's the other part that I want. But I was recently a moderator for this Black Entrepreneurs Connect on last weekend. And there were a lot of organizations that supply services for businesses, whether that's supporting them with IRS support, business development support, capital support, you name it. And so I came across this that I want to share. And I wanted to ask why Black businesses struggle. And the number one thing it says, Black businesses must deal with racism. And when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. And so oftentimes we look at racism, from the construct of, kind of education, but not from a business standpoint. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh. And it was in Forbes. So I want to make sure that I clarify that. And it said 86% of Black businesses owners surveyed believe that businesses are judged more critically than non-Black businesses. And that, in addition, the report says that Black business owners feel the impact of racial disparities every day. And when I saw that on Friday, it made me understand why I wanted to build this podcast and make the world understand this struggle that we're in. But more importantly is why we need these service-based businesses, why we need these economic development services to help us scale, because 86% literally believe that they've been judged critically. They're judged when they walk in the door to ask for capital. They're judged when they're walking in the door to ask for business. They're judged when they walked in to ask to be a part of their supplier chain. So we're dealing with all of these racial disparities, and I just want to say that that was part of the reason why I wanted to build this podcast, so that people could tap into our podcast all over the world and hear thriving businesses, thriving Black businesses who they want to collaborate with, who they want to bring in their supplier chain, who they want to buy from, who they want to support. And so we've done that. And so, guys, I'll be honest with you. I'm struggling today. We're doing a lot of episodes in this season. This season that I am is not one of my best seasons. And I realized that it is this podcast that keeps me motivated, keeps me going, because I wanted to cancel. I just wanted to say, hey, let's not do the episodes today and pass it off to another day. But what I realized is the pain that I'm experiencing doesn't go away immediately, and there's no guarantee that it's going to go away next week. What I know to be true that doesn't go away is my love and passion for Black businesses. That will never go away. And so the fact that I've had the opportunity to interview so many people. So I thank you all who tune in and tune in every week with us. We certainly would love for you to give us a review. That would mean a lot, especially for me, because some days I want to just quit and say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. I'm tired of performing. And I was listening to a podcast with Kerry Washington, and it was Kerry Washington and, oh my gosh, why can't I think of her name? From Destiny's Child, the brown skinned girl. Gosh. Who? No, not Michelle. Kelly Rowland. Thank you. My team is in here helping me out. Kelly Rowland. And so it was such a great interview. And one of the things that she asked is, the street that you grew up on. And I love that and that connection. So I'm going to just share with you. I'm going to take a little bit from Carrie because I think it is important in this whole thing of season 6 and being someone from Chicago. The street that I grew up on is Michigan Avenue. And Michigan Avenue, if you're from Chicago, you've got North Michigan Avenue with all of the fancies of the fancies. And then, you take Michigan all the way down to neighborhoods like, in Michigan, in Chatham, in Peel Hill. Like some of them go that far. And so the beauty of me bringing that up is the fact that as a girl who grew up on Michigan Avenue, the ability to be able to see the fancy world and obviously see the other parts of the world, allows for us to know that we're so diverse in the way that we see things, diverse in thought. And that's one of the things that we speak about, even for us as an agency, is this idea of diversity in thought. And, when we talk about D&I, and I think we talk a little bit about it in other episodes, is this idea of us not all being the same. And, for someone who grew up on Michigan Avenue, in some instances, people will be like, oh my gosh, you grew up with the rich folks. Some people could say that. And then there's some people that could say you lived on Michigan and what? Michigan in 55th Street, Michigan in 85th Street, and say, oh, okay, you grew up in the same hood I grew up. And so it's a very different thing. And I think depending on the audiences that we go in, people are going to judge us in that regard. And just listening to that episode with Kerry Washington on that and Kelly Rowland, it just reminds me of where we start and what our why is. And one of our guests asked me, why did I start this podcast? And I think it's important that I bring that back to the forefront as part of season 6, because what you guys are about to see are some businesses that I think that if you are a business owner, that you can tap in, that you can learn from, that you can participate, that you can advocate. I mean, seriously, like they are really some of the best collaborators that I've had the pleasure of working with or just working alongside of them. And I want to tell you, I built this merely because I didn't want, when things opened back up in the pandemic, got open, that Black businesses wouldn't be at the forefront, that they needed to stay at the forefront of revolutionizing the world and making sure that people understand the impact that we have and the abilities that we have of being resilient, of having the fortitude to build the businesses that we've been able to build. And so I was doing a show online called Crisis Currency Roundtable. It was online during pandemic, and we got like a tremendous amount of views, guys. It was crazy on Facebook. It blew my mind. And then my former employee told me, Larvetta, I really think you should build something. I think you should really. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I have the time, the capacity, et cetera, for the business. And so it took me a minute, and I'm going to say this. I took a drive, Lakeshore Drive up north, this is what living on Michigan Avenue can do. You just drive, and then you just hop on Lakeshore Drive. And so I did that. And that's when Black Businesses Matter came to place, that I knew that I wanted to create a way that we can connect Black businesses to people all over the world, that they can tap in and learn about them, whether that means doing business with them, learn about them from a support, from an advocacy, you name it. And we've been able to do that. And we've featured so many businesses. Like, we've featured over probably 75 businesses in the course of the season. And businesses from all sorts. And so I recognize that I want people to understand my why, and understand that now that people are asking me to speak and moderate and understand this, is that I want to make sure that people understand my long-term game on this, and my why. And my why is to make sure that there is never a statement that says, I can't find any Black businesses that, I don't want to hear that, because in my mind there are, whether they remain at the same level and they pivot, or they close one business, open up another. I mean, they're still here, and they're still revolutionizing the way that we do business from a tech standpoint. They are offering things that we ordinarily wouldn't able to do from a beauty standpoint that we weren't able to do. So we're able to do all of that and still have incredible teams where people can buy houses, and people are afforded the opportunity to do things that they weren't ultimately been able to do. And that's been me. I started off as working for Black businesses, and here I am having my own. So I think it's just full circle from this girl who lived on Michigan Avenue on the south side of Chicago, and is able to bring this with you today. So I just want to tell you that what you are in store, what you're about to listen in this season, you're going to hear from some tech founders that are Black business owners, co-founders, and they're doing big business in IT. They're doing big business in data. They're doing business in a software business. And then we have a consulting company that are helping to help scale businesses all over the world. Right now, they're working with Chicago. And they are powered by JP Morgan Chase. So we're excited to have Kyra from Kyra Company. And the other part is, for some people, you all know, as a company, we are a niche marketing business, and we advocate for women and in the way that they're portrayed in media, and always PR. But this particular season, we've got a lot of men that are leading the way, and I'm excited about that and how they're doing in this business. But we have some incredible collaborators. These are individuals who collaborate in Black business, helping them to advance, providing grants, providing things that will help them scale, because you already know 86% of African-American business struggle in this place of racial disparity. So when we have people that are advocating and being allies and building allyship is so important. And so I just want you all to keep rocking with us, leave a review, holler at us, visit us on our website, the L3agency.com, where we are always posting, new content from the podcast, but certainly you can check us out online at our Instagram handle at Black Businesses Matter Podcast. You can go to our link and see those episodes. But I want to say that, if you've been rocking with us, we do live streams. We do a lot of different things to ensure that we are creating a movement in this place of Black businesses and understanding the power we have. I was doing some research of the top billionaires in Black business. And it was a guy, I think somewhere in the African diaspora. And I can't wait for us to start. We're going to do a season on that, like businesses in that space of African diaspora, because they are game changers, and he's a billionaire. But the fifth person that was on there was Oprah Winfrey. And I think that is so powerful, that sometimes in culture, we ultimately are, seeing things, but they gave us the five, and two of them were billionaires, but they were people that we don't know. They're not on the radar. They're online and in some platforms, but they're not people that are in media. These are people that are building incredible businesses. And that's why we wanted to build this podcast, is that bringing people that really didn't have a voice, or giving them a platform because what they're doing is solving problems and no one has ever really wanted to highlight them and highlight their business. And that's what this platform has been able to afford us to do. And so I want you to understand that the opportunities that can come out of season 6, I think could be endless because of the things that we're talking about in scaling your business and being efficient and growing and building capital. And so I'm excited, for many of you all, I've been at this for a long time, over 2 decades, and I've had to pivot the company multiple times, and I'm still pivoting as someone who works in the energy and utility space and helping around that space. And so you get an opportunity to learn a little bit about these businesses, but more importantly, I hope that you learn a little bit about who we are as an agency, the L3 agency, and hopefully connecting more with me as the host of the podcast. I will say to you all that it really is building your team, because today I did not want to do it because I just don't feel my best. And I recognize that, really having a team that champions for you, cheers for you. And oftentimes as business owners, that's really what we need, is to have champions. And we are champions for Black businesses. We are advocates of Black businesses, and we are supporters of Black businesses. And so as you listen to season 6, I want you to really think closely about these business owners and really think about the impact that they're doing in servicing businesses and government agencies and a number of different things. So I want to see that you all see that differently, and hope that you will continue. Again, I'm challenging you all to leave us a review. We're growing this podcast and would love for you all to drop a review. I mean, seriously. And I just want to say this. And so you're going to see me doing more. I'm looking to do more master classes. So I don't know if you're going to see it before 2023 is out, but I do know in 2024, I'm doing some things. I'm actually going to be doing a masterclass, I think, before the year's out, and looking to do more in 2024, and just helping us to make sure that we are building some really bold businesses and we're mastering the business that we have. So I'm super excited about that. So I wanted to ask myself today, and I say myself, what brings me joy? And I probably will get, slightly emotional, because what brings me joy every day is when I'm able to come here and celebrate businesses and watch them grow, and watch them be businesses that can change the world. And if I have a little piece in that, and in their success, that brings me joy. To be able to see them rise to the occasion, to be able to have the fortitude to keep going, even when you are against so many odds, whether that's personal or professional. I support you. And this right now is to tell you that I see you. I see what you're doing. I'm telling myself this, but I'm also want you all to know that I'm telling you that I see you, that I support you, that I understand you. And quite frankly, I want to see you win. And I hope this episode is just a true testament of winning. So much so that you guys, I have been asked to be featured in a show called Mentoring Queens. And the crazy part about it was the call that I got. I met, the executive producer, and I thought I was sitting down with him to talk about our agency. And he said, no, we want to feature you in our series. This is a docu-series called Mentoring Queens and Mentoring Kings. And it's actually hosted by, I think, Lana, I can't remember her name, but I don't know all the details, but it will air sometime next year. And I didn't know, again, that was why they were calling me. I really thought I was positioning myself and posturing myself around talking about business, but they said, no, we want to talk about the work that you've been doing. And quite frankly, in my mind, I'm like, why am I being highlighted as a mentor? Like, that's just who I am. And I want to help people get and be champions to where they want to go. So I'll be honest with you. I was kind of taken back. I kind of was like, but why me? Like, why? And then I had a moment and God assured me that, why not you? And so, guys, walk with me in this journey. I want to see us all win. While I am nervous as heck for this, because there's just a lot going on in my life personally, and to be able to sit and have to look and reflect and be able to see all the people that I've been able to mentor along the way is truly a joy. And I'm excited because any mentee that I say is that my job is to make sure you get there faster. Because obviously I didn't have all of them. I did have some great mentors and I still have them today. But our goal, I think, is to be able to help you get there faster and to eliminate barriers that won't help you get there, but to create more bridges. And so that's what I want to see. So guys, be on the lookout for that. Mentor Queens. And I just want to say, rock with us in season 6 with all of these incredible businesses that we have. As I mentioned to you, all tech companies, consulting companies, collaborators, from an ecosystem, from a business advancement and accelerator. You guys are in for a treat. We're doing this all throughout the holidays, so you can spend some time over the holidays and just tune into us and build that business in 2024, or scale that business to 2024, or pivot that business, whatever you all choose. And quite frankly, tell us who you would like to see in 2024. My associate producer, I love her, Katori Shepard. She is incredible. I'm grateful to her, and she literally handles all of our guests and making sure that they get here. And I wouldn't be remiss if I don't tell you all who my audio engineer is. Delvin, he is incredible. And so when you all see this or hear this audio, this isn't Larvetta. This is the magic that he brings as that audio genius that he brings. And so, Delvin, I appreciate you. And so I just want to say thank you to my team, even my team over at L3. They rock with me, that they are totally making me better. And so, guys, this is personal for me. Season 6 is personal. So walk with me in this journey and grow with me and pray for me. And until next week, guys, just hold tight to that dream and listen to another episode of Black Businesses Matter. See you all later.
The Black Businesses Matter podcast is produced by the L3 Agency, a culturally sensitive influencer, marketing, and communications firm in Chicago, where relationships are our currency, passion is our profit maker, and people are our bottom line. Follow us on Instagram at Black Businesses Matter.